Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Ustaz Muhammad Salahuddin bin Shahrudin and to all the viewers. My name is Siti Binti Zulkarnin and I am going to give you a short tazkira over the guiding principles of faith, sincerity, honesty, and goodwill in Islam. In Islam, we must always practice our faith with sincerity, al-ikhlas, honesty, al-siddiq, and goodwill, al-nasihat. Each of these virtues includes a vertical dimension in relation to Allah and a horizontal dimension in relation to other people. They tell us how to behave with Allah and how to behave with others. Virtues in Islam, such as these, act as guiding principle in all of our affairs, from our mundane daily interactions to the conduct of nations and everything in between. First of all, sincerity. The first deed a Muslim must do to make a good his or her Islam is to purify his or her intention, al-niyah, in worship and religious deeds. We should act sincerely for the sake of Allah and dedicate our deeds to no other, whether by way of idolatry al-shirik, hypocrisy al-nifaq, or ostentation al-riya. Every act of worship, charity, or any good deed will be judged by the intention behind it. Allah knows the true and secret inner motives of all deeds that we do, and these motives will be made known on the day of resurrection. We must renew our intention in everything that we do. Right intention, which is sincerity, is the foundation of everything else we do in Islam. Moreover, sincerity is the essential quality that guides our hearts and protects us from the delusions of malice or the treachery of evil spiritual forces. Thus, one is in danger of falling into such destructive vices and traps without the protection offered by the virtues of sincerity to Allah and goodwill to people. Ultimately, the virtue of sincerity is the key to paradise and salvation from hellfire. Second of all, honesty. Related to sincerity is the virtue of honesty and truthfulness. Like sincerity, honesty has implications both in relation to Allah and in relation to our behavior towards others. Honesty is, first and foremost, with respect to Allah, and it is synonymous with sincerity as we have mentioned. Whoever achieves pure honesty with Allah will be admitted to paradise. Like sincerity, however, honesty with Allah must be correlated with honesty towards others. Umar, Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, said, "The best deeds are to fulfill the obligations of Allah, to be mindful of the prohibitions of Allah, and to have an honest intention before Allah Almighty." In this saying, Umar mentions obligations and prohibitions, which includes duties towards other people, alongside an honest intention with Allah. Both sets of duties, to Allah and to people, are not mutually exclusive. They must be done sincerely altogether. Telling the truth or telling lies are habits that are learned and, if necessary, must be unlearned. We should practice telling the truth so often that it becomes our second nature, that we always tell the truth without any effort, for this is the mark of a pure heart that will be admitted to paradise. Now, the third and last virtues is goodwill. Sincerity and honesty are related to another essential virtue in Islam, goodwill. We should have good intention towards everyone and everything, to Allah and to all of His creatures. The Prophet said, "Religion is goodwill." It was said. To whom? The Prophet said, "To Allah, His book, His messenger, the leaders of the Muslims, and their common people." Goodwill in these traditions, as in others, is with respect to Allah and people in general. Goodwill with respect to Allah is to have sincerity, al-ikhlas, in all of one's affairs, as previously discussed. That is, to worship Allah free from any idolatry, ostentation, compulsion, or other ulterior motives. Goodwill with respect to people is to offer sound and helpful advice, but its essence, according to Ibn Daqiq, is to love for them what one loves for himself, of goodness, and to dislike for them what one dislikes for himself, of offenses. This is none other than the golden rule, to treat others the way we want to be treated. So, in conclusion, sincerity, honesty, and goodwill are essential virtues in Islamic teachings. They must guide our behavior at every level, with Allah, with people, and within our own selves. Our most important goal is to facilitate and encourage sincerity to Allah. By persuasion and good example, faith displayed out of compulsion or in a state of hypocrisy has no value. So, most importantly, these virtues are obligations that we must fulfill, inwardly and outwardly, if we are to be granted salvation and admittance into paradise. That's all for me for my short tazkirah over sincerity, honesty, and goodwill. Thank you, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.